Hello, and thank you for joining today. My name is Jordan New, and today I'm going to present to you New Back Now, back pain relief program, getting you out of back pain without drugs or surgery. In a moment here, I'll give you some tools about how you can do that, but first I'd like to share a little story with you. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with what's known as scoliosis, which is an abnormal curvature in your spine. And the doctors told me that things were only going to get worse and there may be drugs and surgery down the road. But even at a young age, I knew there had to be a better way. So throughout my teens, I really started to experience a lot of severe back pain. And it was debilitating. It really held me back. And at about age 19, I discovered yoga. And after about a month of yoga, my mom started to notice, hey, you're standing up straighter, you're looking better, and I noticed, wow, I'm actually getting out of pain. I'm feeling pretty good. So from that point forward, I continued to use tools and techniques to help me get out of pain. And almost 2 decades later, I am virtually pain-free. So now I'm here to share this with you about how to get out of pain. I believe it's part of my purpose and mission here on planet Earth, here in this lifetime, to help others relieve pain and feel better. And that's what I'd like to share with you today. So today we're going to go over what's known as New Back Now, pain relief program to help you get out of pain without drugs or surgery. Now, I've only got time for so much today, so I want to show you 3 different tools and techniques you can use on your own, but know that there's much more that we can do here. So let me first give you a little more background about myself. I've been involved in the health and fitness industry since 2004, and doing fitness training, yoga training, teaching meditation, teaching dance, and now I own a successful acupuncture clinic in Colorado called New Vibes Health and Acupuncture. As I mentioned, I once struggled with scoliosis, and now I'm virtually pain-free, and so I'm here to teach you how to live a healthier and happier life. Now, why is this important to you? Well, you may have learned other things that aren't totally correct. You may have learned that the only way to get out of pain is through drugs and surgery, but there's so many other ways to do this. And I encourage you to seek alternative forms of therapy to get yourself out of pain before you then jump into drugs and surgery. Remember, it's just one way to do it, but there's so many other more natural, holistic ways that have longer effects that you can use to keep yourself out of pain. I'm here to empower you to be your own best healer. I want you to know that you are your own best healer. No one's going to do it for you except for yourself. So you'll learn the secrets to feel better almost immediately. So here's what we're going to go over today: how to drastically reduce your back pain so you can have more energy for life. How to eliminate pain without drugs and surgery so you can avoid those unwanted side effects. How to avoid pain from returning so you can finally be free from worry about injury. So we'll go over 3 tools today. And as I mentioned, there's a lot more that I have to offer. We've only got time for these 3 today. So if you want to know more about these tools, stay tuned until the end of this presentation because I've got a lot more that I can teach you and show you. So we're going to go over the power of your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, and your beliefs, and how those influence your health. We're going to go over some transformational breath work, some powerful breathing tools that you can use anytime, anywhere. And then I'll show you some specific stretches and exercises that you can use as well to help you get out of pain. Now, once again, there's much more than this, so stick around to the end, and I've got a special offering for you. So let's first talk about the power of your mind. Your mindset and your beliefs create your reality. So how often do you pay attention to what's actually going through your head? How often do you really catch yourself thinking a negative or self-limiting belief? I believe that disease goes much more than just the physiological aspects of our human experience. Disease is a state of consciousness. So just like a radio wave, what are you tuning into? Your mind is the most powerful factor. Your thoughts and your beliefs determine your frequency that you're vibrating at. And your frequencies determine your level of health in your life. So if you want to heal, it's essential that you change your beliefs, which will then change your frequencies. And I'm here to help you with that. So it's important also that you learn to activate the parasympathetic nervous system for releasing trauma and helping the nervous system to reset. Your PNS is your parasympathetic nervous system, basically your rest and digest. It's that state we should be in most of the time, like when we're sleeping and really anytime throughout the day, that we heal, restore, balance, and harmonize our body, mind, and spirit. Now, many of us get caught in what's known as the sympathetic nervous system, which is your stress aspect of your nervous system, the fight or flight or freeze part of your nervous system where you're on guard. We don't want to be there most of the time. We want, if we do get to that state, we want to be able to jump back into the parasympathetic and help us relax and reset. That's when our body is in the optimal state. So what I have for you here is a meditation to help you get into the parasympathetic nervous system state, your rest and digest. So in the main course, you'll receive that meditation plus much more to help you get into your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. Now, another important aspect here of the mindset is our beliefs and our love and our self-love and our acceptance and appreciation of ourselves. So I want you to really consider here for a moment, do you love yourself? Can you look in the mirror? You're just you, and you can look at yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. And you can really love yourself. It's essentially important. There's nothing narcissistic about it. In fact, it's essential to love yourself if you want to love and take care of others. So I really encourage you to evaluate that. Now, another big part of our mindset is what we're believing. So I've created some positive affirmations for you that you can use anytime, anywhere to help you get out of pain and also improve your self-worth and your appreciation for yourself. So be sure to stay till the end of this webinar, and I'll give you access to those positive affirmations that I've made for you. Now, the next part of this is understanding what is pain versus discomfort. So we're going to take a moment and listen to this video, and this video is going to talk to us about what's the difference between pain and discomfort and how we use both of those things to help heal our body. Let's talk about pain. If you've been in moderate to extreme levels of pain, you probably know how debilitating it can be. The pain robs you of your energy and diminishes your quality of life, whether you realize it or not. It may hinder you from being able to play with your children and stop you from engaging in fun activities or even getting through the day at work without even needing to take drugs or watching the clock. Pain can shape the way we view the world, creating a pessimistic viewpoint and worsening our life experience. Now, it may sometimes feel like there's no hope, and you'll need to just deal with it for the rest of your life. Now, I must warn you that if you don't address the underlying cause of the problem, it will continue to get worse and worse and eventually lead to debilitating pain and even in early and miserable death. An easy thing to do when you're in pain is reach for painkillers, such as alcohol, illegal drugs, or over-the-counter drugs, and prescription medications. Although all these substances can be beneficial in moderate quantities, the potential to abuse and become addicted to these substances is highly likely and unfortunately common. In today's modern world, as you may know, especially in the United States, there's an opioid epidemic. What if I told you there was a better way? Imagine there's a way to reduce and even eradicate pain without the use of addictive drugs or surgery. Would that change your relationship to pain and encourage you to get the root cause of the problem? Fortunately, you can make a positive impact in your life with your thoughts and your actions. Your life can be free of pain. Now, you have the ability to heal yourself and relieve pain. So let's first talk about what is pain. Pain is physical suffering caused by illness or injury. And it's necessary and essential to our survival. Pain alerts you when something is potentially wrong. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the scientific explanation of what pain is, but it's good to understand that pain is a sign your body's giving you that's saying, back off, this hurts. Now, what does it mean to simply be uncomfortable or be in discomfort? It means an absence of comfort or ease, an uneasiness or a hardship, anything that is disturbing to or interfering with comfort. So if we were to always be comfortable, there'd be no need to grow or advance. Now that's where wisdom and finesse in navigating these boundaries of comfort and discomfort come in. So let me give you an example here. When you receive a massage or when you're sore from working out, you can feel your muscles as tender and sensitive. That's this distinctive good feeling. You've probably heard the phrase, "oh, it hurts so good." Another way of describing this feeling is when you're stretching and you can feel an opening. It feels good to create movement in areas that were previously stuck, right? All of these are good examples of the discomfort that's okay to explore, which is different than pain. The best way to move beyond discomfort is breathe into the experience of it and know that it will soon pass. The breath allows us to ease into uncomfortable positions in life, giving us hope, strength, and trust that everything will be okay. Breath is the underlying power of peace and equanimity. One way to distinguish what is painful is to pay close attention to what it feels like if it's making things worse. Or another way to distinguish pain is by noticing that the problem area is not starting to feel better. In fact, it may be getting worse with movement or breath that you're doing. That's pain and it should be avoided. So back off from the movement you're doing if you're experiencing this. It's also important to be aware if pain creeps in at later times after doing a certain movement and being in a body position. Sometimes pain can later come in the day or even the following day. This is often evidence that your body was used improperly. Learning the power of meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness is an important tool to recognize the effects of your beliefs and your actions on your physical body. One important component here is to go slow. As we slow down our movements, stretching, breath, and other actions, it allows a new plethora of information to come to us by going slowly. It gives your mind a chance to evaluate more sensations than if you were to move rapidly. So during the courses provided here and information I give you, make an intention to move slower. Be mindful of reactions and reactions in your body. So I invite you to continue exploring what discomfort feels like and how to move through it. You have the power to heal yourself, and I'm here to help you with that. Pain versus discomfort, and we will get into breath here in a moment. So if you have more questions about, how do I navigate pain and discomfort, I've got some special offerings for you at the end of this webinar that will help you get more clear on how to support your body, moving through pain and discomfort, and using the two to your advantage to help you eliminate pain overall. Before we get into breath work, I want to talk about using comfort and getting a little uncomfortable and then going too far in the delusional state here in this model. So if you're in your comfort zone, you're not really in your comfort zone because you're going to stay in pain. There's not going to be growth. There's not going to be transformation. Now, it's important there that you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So then, when you step into the discomfort zone, that's where the sweet spot, where the growth happens. It's where you achieve, moving through the pain and helping transform your body. Because remember, as I mentioned earlier in this webinar, you are your own best healer. Now, once again, if you go too far, then you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to end back in that pain state. So it's really important that we find that sweet spot of being a little uncomfortable that will help us then grow and transform and get out of pain. And that's what I'm here to help you do. So let's get into breath now. And I want to talk to you about how to using the power of your breath to get out of pain fast. So pain comes about oftentimes because of inflammation. Now, the more oxygen that we have in our body, the less inflammation we're going to have in our body. Now, there's other factors to the power of breath and how it helps you get out of pain that I don't have time to go into here in this webinar. But I encourage you to stick around and follow up with me, and I'll follow up with you for the New Back Now Full program, where you'll receive more information about how to use your breath. So one simple breathing technique that you can use to help you get out of pain is called breath of fire into what's known as breath retention. So breath of fire is also known as Kapalabhati Pranayama in yoga, which is where it originates from. And then there's other methods that use this breath retention or this breath of fire as well. Now, I also have typed here that you can learn the breath retention in a lying position while you're on the floor. And we don't have time to go into that today, but you'll get access to that in the full New Back Now program. So let's practice this breath of fire. I encourage you to find a place where you won't be interrupted here. This will take just a couple minutes. If you're driving, just be mindful that you might get a little dizzy with this, but you're going to feel really good. Okay? So find yourself in a comfortable seated position. If you're lying down, I would encourage you to just get flat on the floor and or sit up, and you can be a little bit more comfortable here. So take a breath into your nose. Let your mouth, let it go. You're going to breathe into your nose, keeping your mouth closed. Exhale out your nose, fast and forcefully. About this pace, exhale, 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 exhale. Forceful breath out your nose. Exhale. Suck your abdomen in as you're doing this. Pull your diaphragm, that breathing muscle at the bottom of your ribs. Pull that up and in. Exhale, exhale, exhale. 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty your lungs. Exhale all that air. Empty, empty, empty. Now breathe into your nose, breathe into your belly, breathe into your chest, breathe into your back, breathe into your shoulders. Get all the way up to your neck and your head with your breath. With your breath full, your lungs full, hold your breath in. Lock that breath in. Relax. With your breath held in, relax. And then slowly let the breath go. Good. Take a normal, smooth breath into your nose, filling up your body. And let it go. And just notice here how you feel. Now, you may not feel a whole lot after just one of those rounds, but do 3 to 5 of those in a row, and you're going to be buzzing. You're going to be feeling good. Your pain's going to reduce. Your energy is going to be better. You're going to be feeling more calm yet energized. So I would encourage you, if you'd like to try this again, pause this video right now and do that breath retention again, or rewind this video and you can follow along with me again. Now, I have a lot more breath techniques that I've personally used to get myself out of pain that I have to teach you. That's about all we have time for here right now. Now, I've got one more special technique here to teach you how to get out of pain. But first, here's a special opportunity for you. What else is available to get out of pain? Well, there's the New Back Now program. I've spent decades learning all this information and I've compiled it all together in the full New Back Now course. Now, this is valued at much more, over $3,000, but that's just what I put here on the screen for all the time that I've put into developing this course. Now, normally this course goes for $497, but today you're getting all of this for $49, which is a smoking good deal. By the end of this masterclass, you'll feel empowered to get out of pain and stay pain-free with these simple solutions to back pain. Now, this $49, what you get is the full 6-week program, all the courses, and I'll continue to be building on these courses, so you'll have lifetime access to all this. So be sure to stay till the end of this webinar to learn how to get access to this special deal where you'll get the full New Back Now course. So now I'd like to get into the power of movement. As I mentioned, yoga has radically transformed my life, as has other forms of movement such as qigong and just exercise in general. So it's essential that if you want to stay well in life, that you continue to move and exercise. And I'm here to teach you a few things about how to move your body. So we're going to go through this quick video here, and I've got a special guest that's going to show us some stretching and strengthening that we can do. Because first, let me talk about why we get into pain. Our body gets into pain because things either get too tight or they become too loose. Like specifically our muscles and our bones and our fascia and our joints and stuff. So if your certain parts of your spine, let's say the muscles around your spine are too tight, they're going to be pulling things one way, where these other things that are supposed to be supporting the body aren't tight enough and they're letting it go. And then all of a sudden you get a slipped disc or something comes out of place, or you start experiencing a lot of pain because things aren't in order. So stretching and strengthening is what's going to help you balance out all those muscles and ligaments and fascia and joints and bones in your body to help stay out of pain. But how do you know what to do? Because I'm sure you've probably done stretches before where it's like, oh, that did not feel good at all. That really hindered me. Or the next day, things feel a little worse. Or you did some exercises that really aggravated your system. So here I'm going to teach you just some simple exercises that are basic and easy and should be very easy for you to do so you can get out of pain. Let's pay attention here. So let's talk about how to move and how to stay healthy. Now I'd like to show you some stretches that are based on yoga principles and yoga movements. So a good one you can start with is called child's pose. This really helps to open up the hips, the spine, and the shoulders. Now it's important that you breathe deeply during yoga postures. The next movement I'd like to show you is called cat-cow position. It's a great opening for the spine. So as you come up to your hands and your knees, you begin to roll the spine back and forth, coming into a cow position, and then you round and come into a cat, what a cat would look like. And you inhale and you come into sort of a cow-like position, and then you exhale into a cat position. And you can even come back to a neutral spine and go side to side in these bends. Usually exhaling on the going to the side, inhaling back to center, exhale side is a good way to go. Or just find some variation of that with your breath and your movement. Another good position to open up the back is to come onto your belly and bring your elbows to the ground and come into what's called a Sphinx posture. So as you can see here, the elbows are directly below the shoulders. The hands are placed on the ground, the legs are together and long behind her, and she's got a really nice bend in her spine, nice back bend, heart opening position. This really helps to activate a lot of the internal organs, as well as lubricate and open up the spine and the vertebrae and the discs, ultimately helping you to reduce pain. Now the next position will be coming into a forward fold. You can do this position seated, or in this case, we're going to show it standing. So you come up to the feet, and you may not be this flexible to get your hands to the ground, so that may involve you bending the knees, so you can really keep the spine somewhat straight and not aggravating the low back. Letting the head hang heavy, letting the whole body heavy, keeping the legs active so they're holding you up strong. Taking some deep breaths here. Now it's important to remember that with all of these positions, you'll want to hold these postures for at least 1 to 2 minutes to really help the body open up. I recommend doing these postures at the beginning and or the end of every day. One more great stretch you can do here is side bending. So you extend your arms up to the side, and then you'll reach your left leg in front of your right leg. Now whatever leg is in front, you want to go that direction. So if your left leg is in front, stretch your upper body to the left side. Take some deep breaths into the side of your body, feeling the obliques and the ribs and the shoulders and the hips, the side of the leg opening up. And make sure that you do both sides. Same thing, right leg in front, leaning to the right side. Now that we've learned how to stretch and open our body, now we want to strengthen and activate all the muscles to keep our body strong and healthy. We're going to work by strengthening the whole backside of the body. Begin by stepping your feet outside of your hips. If you're using a yoga mat, about the outer edges of the mat. Now, get a slight bend in the knees and sit your butt back as far as you can go. Then extend your arms up out in front of you so that it's a parallel line from your arms to your torso. And what you're doing here is reaching the pelvis back as you reach the arms up. This really helps to activate and strengthen the whole back side of the body. From here, you'll want to strengthen the upper part of the back and the shoulders. So bring your forearms together so that the elbows are touching and the palms are touching. Keep those elbows touching and then extend the arms upward and back down. And you can go back and forth here, up and down. Now, if this is too challenging going up and down, you can simply just keep the arms up and holding it there. In order for us to stay out of pain, it's important that we have a strong center core. So I'm going to show you a few core exercises here that you can do every day to keep that spine in alignment and keep your muscles not only stretched and open, but strong and toned. So we'll start with a forearm plank. Now you can always use your hands, but I would suggest here to use your forearms to keep your wrists safe. You'll begin by coming down to your elbows and then moving the knees back so that you get a straight line from your knees to your hips. Eventually you'll come up to your toes. Now if this is too challenging for you, you can always just drop down to your knees and do a forearm plank from here until you have enough strength to eventually make it up to your toes. And as you see here, she's got a nice straight line from her head down to her feet. The next position that we're going to work with is called side plank. So you can come down to your knees again and then lean over to one side so you're on one forearm here and starting on one knee and the other leg can be long. As you can see here, she's got one knee down supporting herself while her top leg is long. Eventually you'll get to the point where you're up on both feet, one straight line from the crown of the head down to the feet. This is a great side plank. I recommend holding all of these positions for at least a minute at a time. And if you can, do 2 to 3 sets each time you do this. It's also important to remember that you need to balance out both sides. So make sure that you do the other side plank same amount of time as you've done the first one. We want somewhat of symmetry on both sides. Now the last position we want to do is strengthening the back side of our body again. So you can come on down to your belly, bringing the hands right below the shoulders. Anchor the legs down to the ground and then lift your shoulders up off the ground. You don't necessarily want to use your hands here. You want to try to use your back strength. And as you can see here, she's able to lift up her hands because she's using primarily the back strength to lift her up. Now, if you'd like to make this even more challenging, you can also work on lifting your legs off the ground too, in addition to your upper body. You can either hold this position as it is, or come down and then engage back up and do either 10 reps of those or hold a minute at a time.
All right. So we got some really good insight into how to stretch and strengthen our bodies to keep ourselves out of pain. There's a lot more that goes into that that we could go into it in the regular New Back Now program, but that's about all we have time for here right now. So now what? I invite you to take the next steps. You just learned how to use the power of your mind and your beliefs and your consciousness, along with the power of your breath and respiration, along with movements and stretches. And there's so much more that we go into, including nutrition, meditation, much deeper breath work, ergonomics about how to sit and stand properly, and so much more in the full New Back Now program. So now is your time to eliminate that back pain and free up your body. As I mentioned earlier in the webinar, this is valued at almost $3,000, if not more, for all the time that and years that I've put into this. But fortunately, you don't have to spend a large portion of your life figuring all this out because I've compiled it here for you. Now, normally this course is going to cost $497. But today you're getting all of this for only $49. So it's a great investment. You know, you're going to learn a lot about how to get yourself out of pain and feeling great. You know, you have the power to heal yourself, and that's what I'm here to teach you. So the next New Back Now course is coming up soon, and I invite you to register now so that you don't miss out on this excellent opportunity. Check on this page here for the dates when the next course is coming up. So now's your chance. This back pain relief program makes it easier than ever to reduce or eliminate your back pain quickly without drugs or surgery.
so you can get back to the life you love without worrying about pain stopping you or limiting you. Join the New Back Now program to get more in-depth training about how to improve spinal health and reduce pain. Act now, because this excellent deal won't be available for much longer. As I mentioned, the price is going to continue going up to that close to that $500. So act now to get in now. You'll receive an email to register directly after our webinar. You'll also get some resources that I've compiled to help you get out of pain now. So thank you. I appreciate you joining. We'll see you in the New Back Now Pain Relief Masterclass, teaching you all the fundamentals to eliminating back pain without drugs or surgery. Thank you for your time. I wish you a blessed and beautiful day.